Hey, what up, Detroit?
Now everybody from the 313, put your motherfucking hands up and follow me.
Alright, engines on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engines running. Launch commit. Liftoff. We have liftoff.
What up, world? Welcome to the Fives of the Week podcast, live at Stony Creek, first annual Bangin' at the Beach. As always, brought to you by 24th Street Pizza, Eli's Eats in the Streets, Dakota Heat. Remember to type in that Fives15 for 15% off your first order. Also, Rubio's Power Solutions, St. Clair Shores Green Hornets, and My Uncle's Auto Repair. So welcome, boys. We got Easy E sitting in, the damn Broncos fan. How you doing?
Doing good. How about yourself?
Doing good. Good to have you on camera for once.
Yeah, it's been a while.
The guy behind the scenes.
Something stinks like stale French fries.
Grandmaster B, how you doing, man?
Good, man. It's hot.
Yeah.
It's hot. I feel like I've said this a couple times already today. It's hot out there, Philly.
Do you have swaths right now?
Some swamp ass may be developing
Are you
here in the
moist
next
between
hour.
your cheeks?
And I tell you, anybody bringing that talcum powder back?
What I'll say, man. I got some wet wipes over there, man.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Hollywood, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Glad to be here. Loving it, man. This is beautiful out here.
It's great.
Beautiful weather, you know, little issue with the generator. But shout out to Anthony Gordon, man, putting this on Ruthless
Yes.
Audio. Big car show today. First one out here, and more to come. Hopefully we're going to get him on camera a little bit later, interview him, pick his brain on, you know, expectations and what's to come. So
Yes.
we appreciate him having us. So, yeah, boys, another good event, live event. You know, we're going to mingle amongst the crowd today, see some custom vehicles, custom rides. We're also going to be at Grady's Sports and More.
Another one.
On the 27th, and then also Ireland's Pub, August 3rd, Saturday night.
Yes.
Saturday night.
So a lot going on, a busy month, boys. So,
Prime time. Prime time.
You know, we haven't done a show in a couple weeks, holiday week, you know. Hopefully everybody had a good holiday.
What the fuck?
And wow.
What happened?
Yeah, he got the thumper on now.
You're going to hear a lot of sounds.
You're going to hear a lot of sound.
You got
man.
that bass.
Perfect timing. Hey, you want to turn that shit down?
that's tough, man.
Holy shit.
That's the bass, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Going I can feel it in my chest.
I think he's got that right over there.
Thanks for putting us in the perfect spot. What the fuck?
You're going to get a lot of that throughout the show.
Wow.
Yes.
I don't know. Do they hear that?
Well, it is a car show.
It is a car show, so we're just going to have to deal. So with that being said, man,
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. We're doing a podcast, Bryce. Come on, man.
they don't give a shit.
I think that was actually
All right.
It's a fucking hot mess already.
It's nice to be outside, though. It's nice to, you know what I'm saying? It's
It
something
is.
different.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
It's always cool to do something different.
We got one of our big fans over there. What's her name? Samara.
Hi, Samara.
Hi, there she is.
How you doing?
Now that's a woman that's always supporting you. This is a beautiful thing.
Look at
to
her
see,
over there,
man.
minding
She's
her
always
own.
here.
Oh,
there
yeah.
she is.
It's a special woman right there.
How's the temperature on that iPhone? Is it not going to burn
No,
up
it's
this
good.
time?
What it was just moving around. It was
Something-
little,
something
you know.
was going on
You
there.
understand?
You understand?
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So what's going on in the world, Hollywood? What the hell's been up? What's new?
Oh, we got a lot of things going on. There's a whole lot going. Daisy Dukes and everything else.
Oh shit!
You know,
Here we go again.
we got one of these things of, I don't know if you guys have heard about the new generation. I've heard the other day, hoping that it's not an epidemic. Anywhere between 19 to 25, that some of these kids of all ages between that age, just really don't feel like working.
Oh.
It really doesn't matter to them if they work or not. What do you think about that?
I mean, I don't know. It is different times, you know. I think each situation is different. Every kid's different.
They're losers.
Some people are born into money. They don't have to. They don't have that work ethic instilled in them. But, you know, I know me, man. Shit, I worked ever since I was 14, 15 years old. So.
Yeah, I love to work, man. You know what I'm saying? That's just instilled in me.
Yeah.
You know?
It gives you a little sense of accomplishment, responsibility, makes you grow up, you know,
Yeah,
quicker.
absolutely. Ain't no doubt about that. My dad used to tell me, he said, son, listen, if I got to borrow, you might take your girl out, I might as well take her out. Yeah, you understand?
You understand?
And that, you know, that it feels good when you work and you get to, you know, take your girl out to the movies or something. You
Yeah.
worked for her. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
But I sure hope that changes, if anything, just to have no drive to work. I could care less to work. You know what I mean? Living off your parents or grandparents, whatever it may be. That's pretty sad to me.
I think it is, but I'm not saying that's every young kid out there, because there aren't, there's a
there's
a
some
lot
good
that
ones.
are
Yeah, there ain't no
actually,
doubt about it.
Doing what they got to do. But I do see that with the state of even our economy, we've talked about this before. There's a lot of jobs out there right now, Hollywood, and man, do you guys remember like when you got out of school, like a summertime job? Didn't you have to make some extra side cheese, man?
But they just don't want to work.
That's extra burden on the parents now, man. Like, don't you feel like if you're a single mom, if you're a married couple, either way, man?
Some don't care, man.
That's not like
they could care
the way
less.
It was for us, man. It was like, hey, if you want extra money, here's what I can afford to get you. If you want better, you got to go out and earn it, man, right?
Yeah.
So, man, that breeze feels really nice coming up my back. I might go shirtless by the time this shit's over. I ain't even lying, man.
The boys got a little swass going on.
But I think a lot of that also comes with what's in the house, too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So different strokes, different folks. You know what I'm saying?
Word up.
But it's got to get better. You got to. Oh yeah, listen to that. Oh yeah, look at that ride.
Knock on wood if you're with me.
Look at that.
There's a
sled.
lowrider.
That's sweet.
Chevy lowrider.
We definitely got to capture some video.
We got Jelly Roll over there. You see that Jelly Roll?
There it is, right there,
We got Jelly Roll up in the house.
God damn it.
Yes, sir.
God damn it.
Good dude.
Yes, sir.
So what else going on, gentlemen?
Yeah, B, what do you think, man? What's going on?
Well, you guys, the last podcast we did, the debate was like the next day, right? So did you guys happen to watch the Biden-Trump debate at all?
Yeah, your daughter's watching right now, so be on par, Joe.
Hi, Bree. Let me know on those Chris Stapleton tickets. I'm sorry. I got to throw it out there and keep reminding her.
Part of Joe.
Pickleitis runs in our family, so Bree knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, so I got a few of these Trump-Biden debate clips here. Let's take a listen to this.
Overcare, making sure that we continue to strengthen our healthcare system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with with the COVID. With dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare. I went to the World War I cemetery he refused to go to. He was standing with his 4-star general, and he told me, he said, I don't want to go in there because they're a bunch of losers and suckers. My son was not a loser, was not a sucker. You're the sucker. You're the loser.
Well, I took 2 tests, cognitive tests. I aced them, both of them, as you know. We made it public. He took none. I'd like to see him take one, just one. I just won 2 club championships, not even senior, 2 regular club championships. To do that, you have to be quite smart, and you have to be able to hit the ball a long way.
Look, I'd be happy to have a driving contest with him. I got my handicap, which when I was vice president, down to a 6. But by the way, I told you before, I'm happy to play golf if you carry your own bag.
Well, that shit goes on and on.
That's kind of where it lost me, though. They started bitching and comparing each other's golf games. Like, really, dudes?
Yeah, is that where you get to the point where you think, like, just that skit right there, it's about, you're not worried about the people in America. You're worried about you against each other.
And listen, that's the thing. Even, like, Gretchen Whitmer was on Steve Colbert and was like, yeah, nobody can deny it. Joe Biden had a terrible debate.
Yes.
She's a big advocate of his. It was horrible. But at the end of the day, when you got real questions being asked to both of them and they're more worried about going at each other than answering the real questions that affect people in real life.
Yeah, that's pathetic.
It's just silly to me, man. That's why, again, politics, it affects us all, and it is a big deal. But, it's just kind of a clown show, man. I still feel that way. I don't know. I mean, Trump is definitely more witty. I mean, Joe had a real bad day.
Struggling.
But there's a lot of questions being raised now. So.
Oh, yeah. From the actor, Michael Douglas, George Clooney, I mean, same thing. Said, we love Joe. There's something wrong. He needs to step down.
He definitely I mean, that little sound clip, and there's, that was a 2-hour-long debate. He just, when he walked out onto the stage, I know people probably already talked about this a week ago, but just because we know, to our audience, it was rough to watch that. I mean, you're seeing a man in decline, and you can't have somebody like that running the country because you got all the world leaders. He was just with all these NATO leaders.
We have someone running the country like that right now.
Well, that's what I'm saying, Eazy-E. But you can't have 4 more years of this, man. Like, this guy, it's time to check out. But they did not plan for this. And so it's shame on this family knowing that he was kind of already in that state of mind. And to put him out there like that, and it's, there's no freaking way that guy could possibly. I can't say no way, but it's going to be a really tough show to watch. Now, they canceled that second debate. We're talking about an economy right now, guys. It's in a state of disarray right now. We can't go 4 years with somebody that you just, gave them that election or something like that. Look, I'm not crazy about either of these guys right now. I think there's a little bit of everything going on between Trump, but if you had to pick and choose one or the other, there's a lot of people on that Democratic side that are kind of shifting now, saying, well, now I don't know, because now we're seeing everything.
Let it be about the American people.
Yeah.
American, oh Lord.
Scuba
American
Steve, you would have loved this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, where is Scuba Steve? Why isn't he out here with the bikes?
I have no idea, man.
Oh, Lord, God. Look at that. Look at them speakers and that. That is
We're
sick.
like squirrels. We just lost focus.
Wow. That's where all the boom was coming from, the Caravan.
Yeah, that's
I've seen his
something else.
videos. That sound system is amazing.
That's the Darth Vader ride, guys.
Yes. That's badass, man. You see a lot of that today.
That's the buzzing you were hearing earlier from that Caravan.
I felt it in my loins.
In my loins.
I felt my jubblies bouncing off my chest.
Yeah, but Hollywood, you're right. We can't have that, man. We gotta figure something out as a country.
Let's make America great again. Let's not talk about it. Let's do it.
I just want the cost of living to be more affordable.
Yeah,
man.
absolutely.
Everything's so damn high.
Did you see that spreadsheet they showed in the middle of the middle of the debate?
I did.
Where they did what Trump had for his 4 years and where we're at right now with Biden and everything's just gone up.
Oh yeah, ridiculous. Orange juice up $1.49.
Dumb, yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money.
No, 100%, man.
A lot of stuff. You guys do anything for 4th of July at all or no?
No, it was kind of a slow week, man. We stayed back. I know you guys went up north, right, and had a good time.
Yeah, it was great, man. It's like, every time you go up to, Glen Arbor, Hollywood, I think you're going up in August.
I can't. I'm trying.
Oh, please, man.
Yeah,
hopefully you can.
They botched me.
There's always drama, We love thank you, Andy, for allowing us to come up there every year. But, it's always something going on up there. People are tubing and shitting in the lake and everything else. It was nuts, dude. I won't go into details. We'll get on the side on that one, but it was rather fucking funky donkey, bros.
Were they shitting in the water?
Yeah, dude. A hazmat team showed up the next day. They were surrounding a turd.
No.
Oh, it was beautiful. It was great. Look at this thing floating up here. It's a fucking genie in a bottle. It was just ridiculous, man. But beautiful. It was so nice up there. But oh my God, Hollywood, there's so many fucking people up there. It was unreal, man.
That's crazy.
It was crazy, man. All this rain, you see what it did down south, man? We got remnants of this hurricane shit,
Well, they said, too, because it rained a lot. Obviously, I got water in my basement. Had to cancel the pod this week. That was a pain in the ass.
24 hours, man.
But they say there's a lot more beetles and earwigs because of all the water, and they're starting to come out of the ground. I don't know if you guys have noticed that where you're at, but...
Dude, they're in my pool right now, man. I skimmed it this morning. I must have had about fucking 20 sets of beetles in there. Yeah, it was a hard day's night.
I love those beetles.
You sure one of them wasn't John Lennon?
I don't know. It was nuts.
Did you say John Lennon?
John Lennon.
So did
Paul
you guys,
McCartney.
you guys hear the new Eminem album? Easy, you're a big Eminem guy, right?
Not really.
No? Why not?
I just listen to whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of eclectic.
Do you know who
did
Eminem
listen.
is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw a couple of the videos he put out though, because they come. Yeah.
Il Medulla said 9 out of 10 actually. After all that shit.
Are you telling me Medulla called you?
Medulla,
damn you, Medulla. Damn you, King Medulla.
Medulla.
Medulla oblongata.
That goddamn Medulla.
If that guy's listening, he's got to find his way over here today at some point, just so we can get him on camera.
Medulla,
This is a
you fit
perfect
right
event
in.
for him.
But the album it's crazy. It's old school Eminem. I mean, he crosses a lot of barriers politically.
He pushes the boundaries for sure.
Yeah.
Eminem at his best.
It's crazy, man. It's
Abracadabra, baby.
It's definitely worth a listen. It's kind of cool to see, M revert back to the old Slim Shady, and it's kind of like both sides talking to each other. So it's interesting.
I'm back.
His wordplay and his lyricism is like next level shit, man. I love it. What's going on in the world of sports, boys? It's been kind of quiet. I reverted. I took my girl out to Jimmy John's Field. We watched minor league baseball because Major League team really ain't doing nothing.
How did it feel?
It was nice. It was a nice night. Fireworks. A good game, 7-6. So.
Was that before or after the fucking ball game? The fireworks. Samara, we're talking about you. Where you at?
So how did it feel sitting there and watching the underlay team of the majors. How did that make you feel when you were sitting there? Were you still giddy? Or was it kind of like, I knew what I was getting into here? It's not the big boys.
Yeah, it's definitely different, but it's cool because you see these guys out there, they got the sponsorships. And the part I thought was really cool, they trained a dog to be the bat boy.
Wow.
So the dog would run out and pick up the bats. That was actually the coolest part. But no, those guys are out there doing what they love, and good walk-up music. It's a good vibe. They keep the crowd
That's cool.
interactive,
That is cool.
so-
I got to get out there too, man.
Yeah, it's a cool night. Spend a couple hours on a nice evening.
Just think how hard it is to get to the majors.
Oh,
when you
yeah.
see some of them guys, how good they are, and you're like, but you're just not good enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of sad, but that's good. You go out there and support them.
Yeah, for sure. Why not? Local kids, a lot of them
Yeah.
are from out of town, but they're trying to make a buck, and who knows? Maybe some of them can make it. It's a long road because, as we know in baseball, you got to go through all these different levels. But yeah, it was a good time. I don't know what the Tigers are going to do, man. I think we're a little over a month and a half away from football season. Lions
Sammy
start
boy.
up in August.
Yes.
Yeah. What up, Sammy? Any news out of camp or OTAs?
No, but I found out that Dr. Ruth Westheimer passed away, sex therapist.
Oh,
Remember
no.
Dr. Ruth?
Dr. Ruth?
96. It just came across the
Oh,
screen.
God, I loved her. I listened
She's
to her
a
every
sex
night going to
therapist,
bed.
Philly. She taught me in Hollywood how to rub one out when we were alone.
Every night.
And this is how you do it?
Yes.
Oh,
You
great
take
sex.
your man
10:30 at
and
night,
you
right?
talk-
You
About
remember-
10:30, 11, yeah.
And you rub him
absolutely.
like this,
She had
honey.
that
And
on.
you,
Sometimes earlier.
this is what you've got to do to make your man happy.
Yes.
Hollywood's like, I just can't fight this feeling.
Oh, Dr. Ruth, ugly son of a bitch.
But
Come on.
Philly, go back to your football stuff. You mentioned something about Netflix having this receiver series out there.
Oh, yes,
Talk about
yes.
it, dude. I haven't watched it yet.
So I watched the first 2 episodes. My son put me onto it. So it's Justin Jefferson, Devontae Adams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Kittle and Deebo Samuel from the Niners.
Wow.
And it follows them all through last season. And, dude, George Kittle's awesome. That dude is freaking hilarious. But the energy and love he brings to the game, he's like a big kid in the NFL.
He is.
And you got to love that and respect that, dude.
Knock on wood if you're with me.
You say he's a lifer there for 49ers? Do you think he'll be on another team?
I believe so. Yeah, I think he's all about the team, all about his teammates. Prides himself on being the best tight end. He's like, on his birthday, he had 3 catches for 3 touchdowns, and it showed like his family, his wife, and
That's
stuff
sweet.
like that.
That's awesome.
And he's like, hey, as long as we win, I don't care if I get 0 catches. And that's what it's about. It's what a good teammate does, I think. And usually a receiver, even though he's a tight end, they get the prima donna mantra. It's all about me. It's all about this and that. But he's really not like that. And you get a chance to peel back the curtain and see these guys. I think it's pretty cool. It's definitely worth a watch. And Amon-Ra, man, just how motivated he is. How he still memorizes those 16 receivers taken before him. His work ethic, how he catches 202 balls off the jug machine. That's commitment, man. Love that guy. And even Campbell was on there saying that, that's why he's a foundational piece, and that's why they extended him, I believe.
You see where his brother came out and said, I would love to play for Detroit with his brother over in Chicago. He said, this is where I would want to be.
Yeah.
And that's kind of cool. I wonder if he could fit, in the scheme of things with us, you know what I'm saying? You just never know.
You want to see my balls?
You've seen, I watched the thing, it was this morning actually, real quick, and it was Hill talking about the 5 quarterbacks he thought was, best. And he goes, I like messing with people and then walking away, and he had Mahomes, Baker was number 5, and they're like, well, why do you got Baker? He's like, what's wrong with Baker? I think the guy's a heck of a quarterback. He goes, well, the first 2 are deserving. No Goff was on there. Tua was on there, which I don't know at number 2, but that's his quarterback. He said, Burrows and them and Allen, yeah, they're all good, guys. They're all good. He goes, but, I couldn't put all of them up. I'm going to need some money for me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I hope Miami, just save a little bit of money for me.
Yeah.
He's all about, he's great being a small guy like that. He's great, but yeah, he had his top down of who he thought, but from what I hear from camp, from the Lions, is that we may lose some good players on the cut that we thought was going to be part of this team, that's how tight it's getting. And that's a good thing.
I think that naturally happens when you compile a lot of talent. You know, you're going to have guys that are like, damn, I wish we could have hung on to him, but there's only 53 spots on the roster. You get X amount on the practice squad. You know, guys want the opportunity to play. You know, you might have some guys that want to stick around and give the hometown discount or whatever, but a lot of times they're going to go chase that cheese and that playing time. So.
They signed that kicker Bates. They said he may be trade bait. You know, he may be cut. You know, a guy that they wanted to kick a 65-yarder.
Well, that's got to be proven in camp, though. Man.
Yeah,
if this kid could play in the NFL and do what he did in that, you know, with the Michigan Panthers, that's the guy, right? I think that was a great pickup because kickers are gold right now in the NFL. Look how many games have come down to a field goal now.
But then again, he's like, well, guess what? We go for it on fourth down, so you know what I'm saying? When it comes down and make, you know, like Philly said, that 53-man roster. Yeah. There's going to be some tough cuts.
Probably, honestly, guys, one of the healthiest rosters we've seen going into a training camp in a long time because we picked up good free agents. We signed great, you know, rookies and stuff in our drafts. Yeah. So they got a lot of pay coming down the road, obviously. Some of these guys are going to keep performing.
Nice bug. We got bugs here. We got bugs.
Laporta and these other guys, eventually they're going to want big money if they continue to sustain that playing mentality that they have. But, gosh, I want to say maybe for the first time, I'm starting to realize, like you said, having a 53-man roster, you're going to probably see a few cuts that you're going to be going, wow, man, like guys like Rodrigo. You know, he was a stud here 2 years ago. He's one of those guys that just kind of drifted to special teams.
They're talking about possibly trading him in a 3-team trade, him and Hooker.
Well, but Raiders, Hooker hasn't done anything. We got to have a backup, though. You think you want to get rid of Raiders?
Give him to the Raiders, and go after Treylon Burke from Titans.
Well, he's still young, though. I don't see them trading him quite yet.
I think there's some development there for him. I mean,
would you like Henke here?
Hell no. I think we got a good. I mean, Hooker, we didn't even see him play yet. So we're going to see a lot of him in the preseason. Remember,
I hope so,
3 preseason games. They kick it off. I think it's with, they got Kansas City, Pittsburgh, and the Giants.
Yeah, and I think you've invested a second-round pick in the guy, so you've got to at least see what he has.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I believe so, too. Yeah. I mean, I think the things out on Hooker, where are you at now?
Right.
Okay, this kid could be phenomenal. And you don't want to see him go somewhere else and you go, wow, look what we just gave up.
Yeah, we got to think, too, when you take your knee out, basically, and he said he could throw the ball a mile, but, like, his accuracy's off. He's getting his legs back under him and getting power back. And, you know, that's got to take time, man. That was a major injury that he had. So, I mean, a lot more to come on that.
Yes.
Did you guys know Kobe Bryant was 31-0 in the Olympics when he played?
I believe it. Old Kobe.
That guy was phenomenal, man.
Phenomenal.
Now, to Chris Jericho, the Judas, he said pro wrestling should be in the Olympics. Do you agree with that as a wrestling fan?
Absolutely not. I think it's not made for the Olympics. It's made for what they're doing.
Entertainment.
Yes, and I never wanted to believe that before entertainment. I was like, no, they're wrestlers, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But as you grow and you see, I love it. It's great entertainment.
Yeah. By the way, I like how he says great. He says it greatly. He does a great job by saying great. He does it very well. Very well. Hollywood's a great
We got Mary from Las Vegas. She's out there. Hey,
Las
Mary.
Vegas.
Yes.
Mary.
She's a Trumpster. She loves Trump.
Hey, Mary, we're probably as hot today as you are in Las Vegas. It's about close to 90 with 100% humidity right now.
How hot is it out there, Mary? Let us know.
Let us know if you got SWAS in Las Vegas.
Right now, Sal's got a swarm of mosquitoes above his head right now, ready to...
She loves Trump.
Does she really?
Oh, yeah.
Now, how do you know Mary? Oh,
she used to be... you
got all your pet supplies ads popping up here.
She went to Roseville. She went to the old Roseville.
Oh, damn. A lot of displaced people, man. A lot of people moved out of Michigan. A lot of people, man.
You got more that want to for work purposes, too. A lot of people, they want to, get out of here,
So, speaking of automotive and stuff like that, where's this going right now? Because I heard some stats the other day on the news about there's so many extra parts right now, and the EV stuff is really not doing well. There's tons and tons of inventory. So, what are they going to do with
I wish I could really, really tell you because it changes from day to day, man. We really don't. We have an abundance of trucks everywhere, cars. It's not taking like they thought.
The EV or
the EVs, and even they built
trucks?
over and they've got them in parking lots everywhere.
Well, nobody can afford them. I mean, you can't even lease a fucking truck right now.
They
for less
don't
than
want to give you
6-7.
discounts and everything. It's like, okay, well, now we have this, and we're still making these people. No, we have to cut back. We're laying people off,
Aren't
changing
the
people, shutting shit down.
25s being made right now? I mean, the 25s are actually starting to ship usually at the end of July.
They're trying.
Right?
They're trying. I mean, it's when you got an abundance of vehicles out there, you got to get rid of them first because you got no room to put them.
So now they'll maybe start up the incentive programs, leases, and everything.
Just think, how would you like to open up a Ram? And you open up the hood, and it's in a compartment. It's no engine in there.
No, man, I still
Dude, it looks
wrap my
weird,
head
but the
around
outside
it,
looks
man.
sweet. But it looks, it's just weird.
Yeah.
Give me that gas.
All right, boys. Well, it is now time for the fives of the week. So, Grandmaster B,
Yes, so
take it away, mate.
we kind of went with a little mixed bag again. So we got a bunch of questions. Is Easy in on this?
Easy's in on this.
Okay,
Oh,
so
easy. Get easy. Let's
so
get it.
Philly, how do you want the rotation to go?
We'll start with Eric down
We'll
there.
start with Eric. Okay, so Eric, here's your question.
Okay.
What is something you are currently working on that excites you?
Well, actually, the AI environment right now is crazy, right? Technical. It's going to change the world. It's already here, basically.
It's pretty crazy.
It's insane what you can do.
Yeah.
There's people writing books and doing simple things. That's all easy stuff. It's what, like in companies like NVIDIA, I know this is probably off the topic base what you guys normally do, but NVIDIA is changing the world with how fast all the data houses for how the data works in the world and at the internet level, they're changing everything. It's going to be crazy. It's in the next 20 years, 10 years, 5 years, it's all going to change.
Yeah. It's wild how things have changed in just the last 10
just in the last 10 years. In the last year, with everything that came out with AI from a year ago, it's a totally different world already. It's hard to keep up with, but yeah,
And
that's
pretty
something I'm
sweet,
working
though,
on. Yeah.
when you think about it, I mean, like, you know, you hope when you see technology like that, that even bolsters your military. You know what I mean? Your airlines, all that stuff, high top equipment and knowledge. You know, and change is always hard. I'm never hard for little change, but
you've heard of the government thing, DARPA, right?
I've heard of it. but I
DARPA,
don't-
yeah. So they've been working with this stuff for years. They've basically initiated. They've been putting this into the military for years, in little pieces, and now it's finally come to the public domain. So that's generally how it works. We're like 20 years behind what the government has, or the military has. So just
We
to
have
keep
some
it fast.
bad hombres here, and we're going to get them out.
So it's wild. It's just totally wild what they're giving to the public. And it'll write books, it'll make music, it'll do pictures, whatever.
So you mean we can actually write music that we won't get flagged on for royalties and shit like that? That'd
Now
be
maybe
great.
you could tell me.
Go to
this.
Sauna.
Talking about what you're talking about.
I'm in a sauna. I think I'm in a sauna right now, Phil.
What's that?
When you're talking about like the technology, and I'm sure you guys probably all have seen this on the ESPY Awards the other day, that Gleason guy from New Orleans. Very sad. So he's got that MS or ML or whatever. Well, he's pretty much just in a bed, can't hug you, really don't know what's going on. And when he talks to you, it's like through a thing like a center thing, what he's saying. And you know, he kind of just moves his mouth, you know, his eyes a little bit. And how does that read your brain on what you're saying?
No, if it reads his face, he picks the words on his screen. And
But he
it will
can't move
help
his
him.
hands. He's like locked down. There's nothing. There's nothing.
It reads your hands, it reads your face, right? And then it builds you a sentence. It's AI helping you build a sentence on your thoughts, and you're picking the first few words, and it starts writing it out. Your phone does it right now.
But how can he do that though? If he's locked down in a chair?
Because of his facial expressions.
Yeah, and you just see like his eyebrows go up. And he's like, you know,
he's his eyebrows. The camera is picking up his eyebrows. The computer interprets that.
What's
and
good
then it
about
makes
it?
the words red
Isn't
or
that
white or
something?
blue or whatever, and then it builds a sentence for him, and then he gives it the okay, and then it says the sentence.
Yeah, because I guess it's been 15 years, and he said he'd
Steven-
only last 3.
Yeah.
And his kids have to go up to him and give him a kiss. He doesn't know. He just, you know. And I guess they said some of his eyes are starting to slow down. It's just a matter of time. And it's very sad because he was talking to the people on the ESPY, and they rolled him out there. He's like, "Thank you," and I'm like, you know, and you just see like the little crack of a smile. It's like, how can they? That technology and that computer was in front of him. Read his mind what he was thinking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was just weird, but it was cool.
The same thing
Very,
with
very
Stephen
sad.
Hawking. Stephen Hawking, he's an astrophysicist, and you'd see him. We made fun of him. You know, people would make videos about him and stuff. And this was back in the 70s. They created this technology.
Yes.
And he's been using it, and he's passed away now. I don't know how long ago, but that's where it all started. So they've come up with more advancements. That's the whole thing about the Neuralink from Elon Musk. That's the whole concept. You plug one of those in, someone can then think their thoughts, and it's supposed to translate that into
that's
whatever
bizarre.
they want. Yeah,
that is just bizarre.
It is.
You become a mouse basically. Like I'm not talking a mouse like in a rodent. I'm talking about the mouse on a keyboard. You think about it, and the mouse moves wherever you want.
Yeah, it was just crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, it was touching. I had a tear in my eye. I really did. I'm like, look at this guy. He blocked in the Super Bowl, and they won that year, and he went from this physical special teams player to, bam, this is what you got. This is what you're dealing with.
Was that from the game itself that caused this, or did they know?
No. He went to the doctors one day, and they had told him, said, you have this, disease that will end up taking you of your life. And he said, I wasn't going to allow that to discourage me, but you see how the body broke down.
Yeah.
And, it was just sad when you see his kids. He's like, I can't play with my dad.
Yeah.
But he knows I'm here. I go up to him, and he sees me. I kiss him on the forehead every morning. It's a ritual they do. And the little girl, that's what got me.
No,
that's what really got me.
It's good stuff. So, B, what do you think, man? What's something you're working on?
Something I'm working on right now. First thing I came to, a new meme.
A new meme.
You guys know I'm always.
You don't say. You don't say, Dom.
Always working on them. That's AI, by the way, too. I just flow right into your segment.
Right.
AI memes are beautiful.
They are.
For me, I wrote, I'm looking forward, I'm excited about this, paying off my house and retiring. So I think that's more like a 10-year plan for some, maybe 20 for others, maybe 5 for, whoever. But right now I'm on in 2 years of a 10-year plan right now. So within the next 8, I think that's kind of what I'm excited about. I'm trying to own my house so the bank don't own me, so to speak. I'm trying to get to that point, we're diligently trying to put extra money down on principal just to get rid of this thing.
It always helps.
And that money hopefully could free us up to do some other stuff as we get closer to retirement, man. I'm not a young dude anymore, man.
You ain't no spring chicken,
no,
man.
No, sir. So I keep thinking about the future and, the health. I mean, it all kind of falls all in line, man. Like, just more or less just trying to be a better version of me, man. That's kind of like, I'm excited about that because, I dropped a few lbs. I go up and down, man, but, the summer can be a little difficult when you're eating all that good food. I'll tell you what, dude, up north, man, I must have gained about 5, though.
Yeah.
You just
stay on track. You got to stay on track.
I know, man. It's like I told myself I should go for a walk and burn off them snickerdoodles.
Got some gentlemen looking over here.
But then, we do what we got to do.
They interrupted over there.
Yeah, man. So, I'm just...
You can do it!
I can do it. I can do it. So that's what I'm going to do.
No, good luck, man. I hope that works out for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's just too much to pinpoint, man, but both personally and professionally, a lot of things in the works. And it's exciting, man, when your life starts to change for the better and you got all these, you're wearing a lot of hats, but you're grinding towards certain things.
Avenues open up.
Yeah, man, just different things that you never thought were possibilities or possibilities.
Yes.
So you start working to that and you get the ball rolling and just a lot of exciting stuff. So not to be bland, but it's just too much to point out. So that I'm going to leave it at that.
Sounds like a little soiled in his pants.
Struggling.
Oh, yeah. I'm on the same cuss right there, I would say. As, approaching 53, a lot of things change. And like Master B was saying, you're trying to get your house paid. You're just trying to, you're midway there on the ladder. You know what I mean? You're not at the mountaintops. But you're there and you want to get your stuff in order and be good so when you do retire, there's no worry. You don't work your whole life to be stressed in the end. We're always going to have some kind of bills, but we just get things in order. You know what I mean? And just live free, man, and happy. Man, just love and peace. And bring back Woodstock.
Hell yeah!
Damn you.
Let's do it, man.
You know what I mean? Hey, live each day to the fullest till you go to bed, knowing that you did good. Try to give back to others and help them. You know what I mean? That's what I be. The rest of my purposes on earth here is to give back. It's free. To help others if you can.
Yeah.
I might not have all the answers, but if I can help you, why not? It's free. You got enough going on in this world that's just negative. So be that positive, and you try to help the best you can. Help your neighbor if you can. You may not like the son of a bitch, but okay, that's cool. We got a mutual agreement. You know what I mean? But I'd rather have more greatness to my tribal chief than
chief.
Than all that. We don't need that. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at right now at approaching 53. My mindset.
Yeah, that's really good. All right, guys. So here we go. Question number 2 in the fives of the week. Eric, we're going to go back to you here. Share a time when you had to let go of something or someone in your life and how you moved forward. I think I know where this one's going immediately. Let's talk about it.
Put you on me spot.
Well, I recently went through a divorce, and I had to let that relationship go. And I went through a custody part of that, and that was a lot of work. And at the end of the day, I have the ability to move forward with the children, and and do good things. So
that's awesome.
It all worked out. Yeah, it's probably been the best out of the last 5 or 6 years. This last year was the best year I've had.
Awesome, man.
So
We support that.
And
brother.
we're supporting you, and we're actually very happy to have you part of our podcast. I mean,
Cool.
we've kind of, and you're kind of mingling really well with some of the stuff. He did on the mic, and we were doing a mic check, and I'm like, I looked at Philly, thought maybe that was him, but it was fucking Eric. Oh, there it is. Look at you, man. He likes the purring, does he?
Like we talked earlier, you're the pillar. You're the pillar.
You're doing a great job, and that's congratulations to you, man. I'm glad things are getting better for you, bro. So for me, I wrote for the question again, in case people forgot listening. Share a time when you had to let go of something or someone in your life and how I move forward. So mine was a few years back. I lost a job back in 2018. I did not see it coming. It was like one of those, I got caught flat-footed, and I was let go. Basically, I'm gonna call it what it was. I was let go. I got let go for probably things I may have said, but it was taken out of context, and I validated it, but it was too late. I was pissed and very angry. I had to push through it. At that time, we just moved into the home we're in right now, so there's a lot of volatility with finances and things like that. And when you lose a really good paying job and you didn't plan for it, it puts your mind in a whole different set of, oh fucks, what do I got to do now?
Survival
And no different than, in a divorce, if someone says, hey, I don't think this is going to work no more and I want out. I mean, you're not always prepared for that. You might see it coming sometimes, but in this instance, I did not. So for me, it was a very big struggle. I was very mad at people, mad at myself, and I kept blaming others for what happened, and in reality, I had to do a little bit of autopsy on myself, and that was just kind of getting back into my mind, okay, what could I have done better? Could I have changed this? So in progression, for me to become better, again, version of me, I had to do that soul searching, man, and I think we all do that, whether it's a breakup of a relationship, a job, or a missed opportunity. I think sometimes you just think maybe not me, it can't happen to me. But when it does, that's when the reality hits, and then it's feast or famine, man. It was to the point where I wasn't getting calls from recruiters. Everybody I thought was my friend that could help me get a job somewhere else. Hey, man, they're really not doing any hiring right now, but I'll keep you posted. So I was getting a lot of that, man. So, and I'm sitting at home, watching talk shows and shit, and it's just getting in a very dark place, So I'm going to say it took me a good couple of years to get out of that mind, even though I landed a job, thank God, relatively quickly. And shout out to my buddy Rick Green. He's the one that kind of helped me find what I have now, and I'm grateful for it. And that's the other thing I'd say is be appreciative of what you have. A lot of people in this world, we tend to think that we need to continue to get more stuff, more things. It's not always about the material things, because when you go into a tough place like that, some people get, unfortunately, cancer. They have to fight through medical stuff. You wouldn't want to switch spots with those people, because their fight is much harder than what you think it is for having a bad day with some coworker at the job. So just strictly value what you have and take appreciation. Look at this beautiful setting we're in right now. Yes. And we're out here, Mother
Very
Nature,
gorgeous.
the birds are chirping, and Jelly Roll's walking over there back to the tent. And that's it, man. I just said, that was a rebuild for me. That was a huge thing for me, because at my age, I was not expecting it. Again, I was thinking about that countdown for that whole retirement and stuff like that. And it could happen to anybody. Yeah. Even the best employees or the best people sometimes just get, hey, man, we're downsizing. We're doing away with this. Here's a 10 weeks paid vacation. Sam Toya, my best buddy, he understands that just as well as I do. We just had this conversation a couple weeks ago, and it really reiterates the importance of valuing what you do have and not what you can always go on less. You can always live off of less, but to me, it was like a huge, big change for me. So that was my answer, and a long-winded answer it was. So over to you, Phil.
No, it was very well said. For me, it was actually leaving youth football because that was a big part of my life for almost 10 years. And going into high school football was a big change. And I just want to shout out the Eastside Eagles because they were so paramount in giving me the opportunity to coach and do something I love and stay close to the game because, as a high school football player, you have all these dreams and aspirations and things don't go your way and you're a knucklehead learning life, you know what I mean, without proper guidance and things like that. So I really got my feet wet there. And I'm thankful for all the friends and the people there that I've met. Even, they did something real nice for me when my son got sick a couple years ago. So, shout out to them. That was tough to leave, because you put so much time in, you help build it up. Even if it was a small part, you were still a part of those families and kids' lives, and you feel like you made an impact. So to graduate on and things more to come, but things are kind of coming full circle again. So excited for the future, what's to come this season. I got some things in the works. We may have a Philly versus Sea Rebel matchup.
Philly versus
Breaking news, W. Easy, you might be filming me whooping his ass.
Yeah, there you go. I'm supposed to be at all 8 games, so there you go. If you're there, I'll see you there.
No, but it's all love, and shout out to them for holding us down and pushing our product too. So
absolutely.
No, that was tough to let go, but it's exciting because you can spread your wings a little bit and fly and take on new challenges. So
I guess it's better than spreading your cheeks.
How about you, Hollywood?
Oh man. I guess you could say it cut and dry. Some of the things in life that I've been through and went through, just not giving a fuck anymore. Just washing my hands of it. Just don't care. Just going on doing the things like Elvis once said, did it my way. And you know what I mean? Just
was that Frank Sinatra?
I believe he did it first, and then Elvis. Yeah, they both.
He not only rambled, but he rumbled and stumbled.
But just not really caring. I mean, moving on forward, and I've had some, couple relationships. Some things, had to let you go. You just wasn't willing to do what you needed to do, and I can't have that. Not this second time around. You know what I mean?
It's all fake news.
It's got to be top notch. What I want, and if it ain't, it is what it is. I'm good, man.
I admire that, dude.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. I'm the fucking man.
Right. But that goes with everything. Even like with my job, everything like that. I can't. It's out of my control.
Yeah.
Once you put it in my control and you give me a thing like, hey, man, I can walk anytime. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit there and there's some people that are so stressed about it. I can't control that.
Now, Hollywood, let me ask you this. Are you willing to let your eardrums go and step into that car over there with that bass that you heard?
Well, I don't know, man, because I have a sensitive left ear, man. I don't know if I can handle that. I mean, that was badass.
We felt like it was right next to us, like it was behind us.
So I can only imagine you being inside that bad boy.
Yeah.
You may walk out with vertigo. But yeah, that's my take, and it's nothing against anybody. It's just it is what it is. That's the spot that I'm in, and my heart is filled with a lot of happiness. And like I said, I want to, give back to a lot of people and help. You know what I mean? I want to do a lot of great things. You know what I'm saying? Just to be doing it. That makes any sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Very good. What's number 3, Grandmaster B?
All right, so number 3. Here we go. Question is, if you could go back in time and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would it be? I think you're kind of drifting around a little bit, Hollywood, but we're going to be back to you. So, Eric, if you could go back in time and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would it be? What you know now, what would you tell that 16 to 18-year-old kid you knew back then?
I guess I'd be more concerned about the finances. I never really worried about that when I was younger. You just kind of go to work, get your money, do your thing, and there's a lot more you can do with that. If I would have had an earlier start, if shoulda, coulda, woulda, which I don't live that way, that would be the biggest thing I would give advice on, was do different things with your finances to make it more acceptable now. Right now, I kind of started late. I got my house late.
Yeah.
Started with children a little bit later in life.
But that's okay.
That's a good one. I think locking in sooner would have helped.
But sooner would have been a bit more of a, with the way the economy is now, you'd be in a little better position, I think. Most people would.
What's right, though, I was a sooner. I was a young dad. Mm-hmm. What's a sooner? Look where I'm at now. You know what I mean? It's like most of my kids are growing, but you missed that part. You know what I mean? The youngest, but I grew up with them being young. You know what I'm saying? So
no, I haven't missed any of them. What I'm saying is financially, when you start that process,
yes,
you're not prepared for that.
Yeah, right.
And not having a house and not worrying about having certain things that you would need to. I didn't care if I had a house when I was younger. I didn't care about having property. Yeah. But I get this house 5 years ago and I already got equity, and it's crazy. It's like, well, that's cool, right. And I didn't even ask for it. It's just there. So, different things with the finances I would have done. I would give the advice.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Great answer. So what I wrote down is what I would tell the younger version of me is to slow down a little bit. Life goes by very quickly. I would say you tend to. I wouldn't say you take advantage of the people that are here until they're gone, and then you realize how much you should have or could have done with them. So there's that kind of thing as you get older. So for me, it was Hollywood, you actually said it best about, I wrote it down, sweating the small stuff. I think when you're going through that growth period of life, you worry about other people's opinions. Yes. I've never been a trend follower or someone I would look at and say, oh, I want to be like him. But at the same time, you're always trying to be relevant with a group of people, and then at that point you start to realize that was a one-off situation. So I would say slow down, be who you are, and be happy with your decisions, because you're going to make a lot of mistakes when you're young. I told my daughters this because they're now entering their 30s. It's kind of and Philly, you might be able to attest to this. I think your 20s and your teens are more of the fuck off years. You're just kind of you're making mistake after mistake, finding trouble, getting in trouble. Yeah. When you finally hit 30, something really clicks at that 30-year mark, and then you start to, maybe it's a family, you're getting yourself established in your job, and you're starting to financially put pieces together, buying new furniture, and then 40's oh fuck, I got to pay for all this stuff. And by the time you cross that 40 threshold, you're already, what you're focusing on.
Jay Heraldo would agree with you.
Jay, good to see you on the Facebook.
Absolutely.
Man. So I really think a lot of this is, for a younger version of me, because I always try to do everything and anything, and that was all great, but man, I missed out on some opportunities. Eric, you hit on it. Financially, I was a disaster. I can't wait to hear what you're going to say, Philly. So that was really what I had to say, but Hollywood was touching all around it, man. I felt the tingle.
No, that's a great one, actually. I definitely agree with that. But I'm going to say just apply myself, because we were talking, I was talking with my girlfriend, and we were talking about our kids her daughter just graduated, my son's going to graduate this coming year. And it's man, I didn't do a lot of those things my senior year. I didn't do any of the senior pictures, none of that, because I was in such a bad place. I wanted nothing to do with it. So I think if you go through those years just to do those things, those school activities, play another sport, or you didn't go to a dance or a party or hang out with that person because somebody else don't like them. Right, you know what I mean? Just make your own decisions, have those life experiences, because you only get to go around once. Yes, and I don't regret much, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, there's always things, when you're younger, you don't think like you are now. You know what I mean? So it's completely night and day. So if I had that opportunity to tell that person, have those experiences, And like you said, don't rush it. Don't feel like you have to be grown up right away either, But do stuff like Easy was saying, finances is huge. Mm-hmm. Yes. Why don't they teach these things in school?
They don't.
Why do you have to go to special classes to learn, the ruler and, 1/8 and, 3/8? They don't teach these little things and credit and all this shit, That's what's really important. Lock in on what's important. That's going to help you in the future.
Great answer. Hollywood.
I don't even know if I could top any of these.
The boy's mind's a little pickle.
But, we can't change some of the things, you know what I mean? And you know what? I look at some of my life and growing up with some of the great people I have and seen along the way. I did a lot of stuff, you know what I mean? And even some of the things I missed out on, I used to beat myself up, like you were saying, you know what? Maybe I do it with the child, or you know what I mean? See someone else do it. And I'm happy for you. I stress that on. Live your life. You know what I mean? If most people, and you see, especially me and B in our era of age, beautiful Corvette. Look at that Corvette.
Beautiful ride.
Beautiful ride. The friends that we've come that are still around, and the things that they've done. You know what I mean? And they've done a lot of stuff that some of these kids will never experience in their life.
Yeah.
They just won't. It's that simple. And they don't care to. So, I don't know, man. I mean, there's regrets in some regards and some things, but you know what? I've been blessed, man. You know what I mean? For a lot of things. And like you say, with the financial, you guys kind of much summed everything up on that. I really can't top that. I agree with you guys 100% on that. You know what I mean? And then like where we're at, you know, Philly, he's still a younger version, and he'll take a different process in another 5 years. It'll go into another, you know what I'm saying? And would you agree, Master B?
Oh, 100%.
It comes in like 5-year phases where you stand in life. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't have what others have, and that's okay. Because your world becomes very small in the end. And if you have a lot there, that's great. You were one hell of a person. You know what I'm saying? But by that time, most of them are gone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just truth. You know? So you see the way, like, you know, these parties and these people are having people out of state, that big old shooting and everything was horrible.
Yeah.
You know? So that's where I'm at on that, guys.
That's an honest answer.
Very good.
Great.
Well, we're flying through these questions, man. I had some bonus ones in here. Okay, so question number 4. All great answers, by the way. Very good. You ready for this one, Easy E? Question is, what do you think sets successful people apart from those who struggle to achieve their goals?
Mindset.
Excellent.
It's mindset. If you want to be successful, you'll be successful. If you want to take blame, and push blame, you're not going to be successful. It's that simple. I learned that on the field. I learned that on wherever, you know, whatever I've done.
Right?
Accountability. If you can't put yourself first, like what he said earlier, what Brian said earlier, you're never going to grow. And so your mindset is the biggest key to that success. Success isn't about making money. Success isn't about having kids. Success isn't about having a house. Being successful is what you want to make success.
Right. I like that.
So
Well said.
that's my answer on that one.
What happens if you fail?
Then you've succeeded because you'll learn how to succeed because of your failures.
I've always said like this: if you went in and given 100%, you never failed.
But you can fail, and failure is okay.
Yeah,
failure 100% is okay. His job. Look where he's at now. His job. Everyone has had a struggle. That was the key to the question.
You didn't stop there.
Don't stop. I never stopped. I've always stopped.
Yes.
I've never stopped learning. I left high school, learned everything I know now is not from college or high school. Everything that I'm doing now is self-taught. I said I work from home. I try to do the best for my family. I'm in a rebuild phase. And this is probably the 3rd or 4th rebuild I've had. And I'm looking at it like, okay, what do I do? That's where I'm at. But those decisions I'm making now are playing out. I'm sitting here with you fine people, hanging out, chilling, and we're having this conversation. So
they're all building blocks.
They're all every single thing. No matter how far you get knocked down, just prepare your life not to be knocked down, and then you're successful.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that 100%.
I dig it.
That's great. It's kind of like that lesbian saying goes, once you've had the beeve, a cock will make you heave.
I don't swing that way.
Oh, yeah, sure. Great. That was really good, Eric.
We got some more bass.
We got some more bass.
Just in time.
It's coming right from there.
Nobody wants to hear what I want to say. Anyways,
you guys ever see War of the Worlds?
That's the alligator or the pickle ride, I think.
Is it?
And it's got some kind of green something on the front.
This is where they judge the decibels for the bass, I think. So this is a great spot Anthony put us at.
This is Bass Wars.
When they really start rolling in here, Philly. So I'm just going to continue on. So what do I think sets successful people apart from those who struggle to achieve their goals? A plan. Have a plan and work your plan. Plan whatever goals you set, revisit them frequently. And I learned something about myself. If it's not written down and it's not in front of me, I tend to forget about a lot of things. I'll just it's always a thought, and I should have wrote it down.
And that's mindset.
Yeah, it is a mindset, and that's why this correlation's perfect, man. I got a dry eraser board in my home office, and there's little sayings I'll put up there, or I'll find something, and I'll just put it in front of me, or I'll revisit notes. We got these smartphones that we can actually put notes in there, put stuff in there.
I would take you as one of the individuals that put all the pictures around with the lines and the little thumbtacks, and you're like, I'm going to be a detective, and you just build it all out that
we got smartphones where you text them something. He thought the show was 2 weeks from now.
I know, man. I'm telling you, we do got a lot of events coming, and July is pretty busy for us. But so I think you got the plan and work your plan. That's really important to me, man. And I think if you can stay focused on your itinerary and your agenda of what you want to accomplish, whether it's financial, whether it's relationship building, it's job performance, moving up the ladder, doing whatever it is, if it's just trying to have the nicest lawn on the block, you have to want to set a goal to get there. And then other people start to notice, well, he's really accomplishing a lot, man. How'd you do it? Well, driven, man. You got to be driven. And Eric, you hit the nail on the head. It's going to be hard to top it, but that's kind of like my thing. I always believe that's a successful part of planning.
Those two things are top notch, man. When you listen to a lot of successful people speak, those are two things that they say. And also, one thing I've learned from people that are successful in life, like you said, no matter where it is, it's being coachable still. You talk about people that are successful, they usually have a lot of smart people around them.
Absolutely.
A lot of self-awareness. Know your pros, your cons, your flaws, and where you could contribute the most. And I think when you have a good support system, I think, they only lift you up, especially when you have those dips in your plan, right? Something don't go to plan. You have a bad quarter in a football game, or you have a bad life experience like a divorce or something. How do you bounce back from that? Mm-hmm. You learn adversity and all those things. So I think always being willing to learn and be better, I think that's top notch.
Well said, nephew.
Thank you.
I will take a snippet from Tom Brady.
Snippet.
What he says, you set your mind to it, you can achieve anything. Yeah. Anything possible.
Except for crypto.
We know some people, we have to understand that you have some people, they just come from money.
Yeah.
They're born into it. We call that the golden spoon.
Another one.
That's not everybody's life. Okay? So when you make it from the bottom up, it can be done. It's just where you want to be in life. How far are you willing to push? Who thought we would be here today?
That's
4 years ago, when we just started over COVID, look where we're at now. You never saw this coming, and it's only on the rise.
Another one.
We dug.
Yes.
We stuck together. We grinded. Went through the trials and the errors. You know what I mean? We're human too. We miss shows too because why? We're human. But we keep grinding.
It was a plan. We had this plan. We talked a year and a half ago about we got to get to the bars. We got to get into live podcasts. This is all talk, and like a lot of these podcasts would have folded by now. We just keep pushing on. I know we get gaps.
And you got Easy and Inventor right here.
And we got people that are coming.
Dr. Dre.
Yeah, there it is, man. So great, man. That was well said, Hollywood.
That was a great question.
Yes,
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Very good.
Okay, so here we go, guys. How do you handle, the final 5 is, how do you handle criticism or negative feedback? You can answer this any way you want, from family, friends, bosses, or significant others. How do you handle criticism or negative feedback on an individual basis? Easy E, how do you handle criticism?
Sometimes you can look at it. That's kind of a loaded question, because you can look at it from the day to day. You might let things go, and other things you might take personal. So it just depends on the situation, right?
And from who?
Yeah, exactly. From context, you could be having a bad day, and just because your mood comes in, so you hear something, you're like, to hell with that. Yesterday it would have been just fine, no big deal, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So I look at the negative. As long as there's no blame in it, I mean, if it's something I really have to reflect on or something I have to really do, then I'm going to do it, right? I'm going to take that. And sometimes you don't. When you're in a mood, you don't want to hear nothing. You don't want to hear nothing, even if it's negative or positive. Or no, you don't want to hear nothing.
Yeah.
So I kind of just look at it, and and sometimes you may make a mistake in that moment, and then come back to realize you shouldn't approach it that way for the negative part of it.
And there's people that'll come to you with a problem, but without a solution. Like, okay, anybody can nitpick somebody.
Exactly, and you're the one that,
Are you willing to come up with an answer to help try to fix it, especially in the workplace?
Yeah.
Like, don't just bitch to bitch, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Let's work together.
It was kind of like us setting up this tent.
Yeah.
We had all kinds of little things going on with the tent, but we made it.
Yes, we did. Absolutely.
Supervisor helped us out.
Super Mike.
Stop whining.
Good answer.
Put that back up there.
Very large.
Good answer.
There's Jelly Roll again. There you go. You see it.
There he is.
Jelly Roll.
So I wrote down, I'm going to try to, let's see, family sometimes could be a double-edged sword when it comes to criticism from family, I think. We tend to see or hear from them more frequently, your family members, than most people. So to handle the criticism, the negative, bottom line is communication for me. It's good communication, facts, self-reflection. Like I mentioned when I talked about that job loss, to either fix the problem or state your point, to find the truth, and to resolve any issues causing the grudges. No one wins and makes any holiday. It just makes holidays uncomfortable if you're fighting with family, right? That's a very difficult thing. If you know you got someone that you're not really having a good relationship, friends, family, at work, whatever you want to call it, bosses, significant others, communications, the best thing to me is have a good conversation, whether it was a beef with someone in your family, at work, or anything. I think you got to have very good, clear communication, admit your faults, find out what made the situation what it was or what it is, and I think that's, there could be a lot of heat going on until, those conversations with people, but I really believe that life is short, man. You got loved ones, you got friends you love, you care about. I think it's really very important that if there's some, friction between any of those lines, if it's important enough to you to make it right, be the better man, be the better woman. Go in and say, hey, well, what do we need to do to figure this out? I had a situation with my little nephew Andrew. Right, we had a little beef for a couple of years, and I know he wasn't fond of me because something that happened during the course of an argument that I was defending one side and only seen it from one side, and he took offense to that because I was having a beef with his dad, and I realized that if I was that 12-year-old kid and seen some dude that's, so to speak, my uncle coming over and popping off on my dad, I'd probably hate him too. And so I put myself in his shoes to understand, like, okay, what did I do that maybe upset this kid, made him feel the way he felt? And that was a man for me to get in my thought process was to realize that I need to go talk to this kid because this ain't the way it's going to stay forever. Because he's going to be here for a while, I'm going to be here for a while too. We need to figure this out. Pulled him off, went into a bedroom, we had a hell of a talk, we aired everything out. Like a young man, we shook hands, we hugged, we said, hey, we're moving on past this, right? And I think when you have that kind of a situation, it's toxic, man, because it'll bring you down. It's probably hurting you more than it's hurting the other person if you're thinking about it more than they are. Trust me, it's going to hurt you. So get through it all, man, and just fight those lines. Like you said, Philly, you got to just stay in that line of keeping it real, keeping it honest, one-on-one, get it out. Whether it's your wife, girlfriend, friends, brothers, sister, it doesn't matter, man. If it's meant to be done, you'll know it's meant to be done. But if there's still something there, fight for it.
It shall be done.
It's worth it, man. It's worth it.
No, it's well said. And like Eric said, though, it is a loaded question because it just depends, like, how it's said or where that person's coming from, how you're going to handle it, because every action has a reaction. So sometimes you might say something you don't mean or you take it the wrong way. You really have to, I've learned to be more patient, not just react right away. Sit back, take it all in, learn from it, and then from there you learn how to move forward, because I think we've all been there probably where you flew off the handle and somebody took it the wrong way. But that's really not the way anything's going to get done. I agree. So that's something I always still try to work on. There's something that might trigger me and it just pisses me off. My blood gets boiling, but you just got to learn from those situations and try to be better because, family and friends and those people that are there to build you up and hold you up in down times, you would hope that they keep it a buck with you, keep it 100% real, and they're only doing that to better you. Hey, why are you doing it that way? Maybe try this, or I had a situation with my grandmother where she said something I felt was totally out of pocket, wrong place, wrong time. I got mad I didn't really say much, I just left. I left the situation because I didn't want to hurt her feelings, but she hurt mine, you know what I mean? But we talked it out, and sometimes cooler heads prevail, as opposed to just going off. Yeah. So, you live and learn, man, but it's depends on the context, but not all criticism is bad criticism.
No, sir. No, that's constructive criticism. And I think, like what Holly was talking about earlier about people like these younger kids that aren't wanting to work and stuff like that, it goes into relationships with kids too.
Yeah.
I think, more is caught than taught in the parenting of today. In other words, they catch you doing something, so they think that's the way it's supposed to be. But if you're not teaching them, if they're only catching you, again, more things that are caught than taught.
Yeah.
You find that those kids pick up on some of your bad habits, whether it's potty mouth, or it's a streak of anger, or just don't give a shit. And your kids see that, they catch that. That's how they think. Well, that's how you are. Yeah. But you got to be a teacher. You got to be a teacher at heart, and that's all part of that communication line.
Yeah.
So very important,
Thumping, man. Thumping.
Yeah, it is thumping. So Hollywood, you're up, man.
Round it out, Hollywood.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna say this. Sweet. All family isn't good family, and we know that. Sometimes a wise man once said, you listen to a fool and listen to him well, because what he's speaking is what you don't want to do. Listen to him, and if it makes sense, you'll know, and if it don't make sense, it don't matter. Facts are facts, and when you can talk facts and you can call the straight shots, you can think whatever you want to think. It's okay. You have that right. But you know better. Wise man. Why, you know what I'm saying? And that's true, because you have a lot of friends that would bend their back for you, that love you, that care about you. You know what I mean? And their family as well. Your family, you love your family, you always try to do the best for your family, but your families get extended as well. And you're always going to have fools out there. You're always going to have haters. You're always going to have some. You know if it makes sense. If this person just talking out his ass, you hold no bearing to me. Your knowledge means nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? I let you speak, but I may think nothing of you. Your opinion don't matter to me. So what you think of me, I could really care less. I know where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I deal with, and even like at work and stuff like that. Make sense of it. If you're gonna come and talk and holler, make sense. Because if not, I'm gonna bark at your ass. Because I'm making sex. I'm stating facts. Show me facts.
Right.
2 and 2 is 4. Last I knew.
Right.
You ain't gonna tell me it's 8. Okay. Shit like that. So I'm good with it, and I'll give you a fair shot. And I'm not gonna tell you nothing stupid. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be straight up with you. And if I love you, I love you, man. And if you ain't no fucking good, and I see it, and you shy you this way one way, and you get around that, and you're another way, I can't deal with you, man.
Right.
I can't deal with you. You shady. You shadier than Slim Shady. That's what I say. And some can't handle that, but that's what you are.
That's real, man. That's real stuff right there. But like you said, not everybody, not all family, not all friends, not all people that we know are good people. I mean, they may be fun to be with, but would you go to war with them?
Right.
Right. It's a fine line. With some people.
There's a lot of folks, good and bad, that are family and not, that are just there for the good times, not for the hard times.
Yeah.
Right. So I understand.
Spread that love, man. Spread that love.
Dig it.
So with that being said, we're going to take a pause. We'll be back with some more live content and action. Thank you for joining us, and stay tuned for Banging at the Beach.
Yes, sir.
Thinking that I'm changing. Fuck all of the games that you've been playing. Fuck all those facades that you displaying. You hit me up when you down bad. Otherwise you don't doubt back. Got me thinking I should doubt back. You better not leave me on. I done been there first, and I've been on the other side. Guess I get what I deserve. Yeah. Cause I'm down if you're down.